Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So let's talk about PlayStation games on Xbox. Currently, it's not possible to play PlayStation games on Xbox. I'm talking about first-party PlayStation games, maybe except few like MLB The Show or Death Stranding. I mean, that's two examples that come to my mind right now, right? But these were games that were published for Xbox. That's fine. But I'm talking about other PlayStation games that are not currently available on Xbox, right? You cannot play them on Xbox, but that may actually change in the future, probably next gen, and I'm talking about an option where you would be able to play PlayStation games via Steam. Yesterday I made a video that next gen Xbox is probably going to get Steam application, so the access to Steam library of games probably going to be an option on next gen Xbox, and PlayStation games are part of that library, right? So there's a lot of PlayStation 5 games even on Steam. So if Steam is going to be on Xbox, if it's going to be on Xbox, then it's probably going to be possible to play some of these PlayStation games on Xbox too. Now, there's two questions we really need to ask. A, how Microsoft is going to build next Xbox, and really whether this new Xbox and its operating system is going to be a full-blown Windows operating system. I'm talking about like really open Windows operating system with number of optimizations for console, obviously, or is it still going to be a closed environment kind of operating system with some options for Steam? Because that's two different options, right? Because, you know, in theory, some people say that PlayStation could possibly block access to these games, you know, on Xbox. And I guess it could be possible if Xbox were to build like more traditional console, even with Steam app available there. Then probably they could block it because, you know, normally, I mean, right now, every single game that you know you can play on Xbox needs to be verified, needs to be licensed, needs to be go through a number of checks on Xbox before it gets published, right? So if that's going to be the new model for the next Xbox, even with Steam support, so if some of these Steam games will have to get verified on Xbox and that kind of stuff, that's probably going to be problematic, right? I'm talking about like PlayStation may just block access for these games, right? We're not giving you license, we're not giving you the right to play that game on your hardware, that's it, right? You know, in theory, that's possible. But if Xbox were to be a full-blown kind of PC, or should I really say a hybrid, right? So, you know, still a console when it comes to hardware, right? Like, you know, customized hardware and that kind of stuff with more open Windows system, you know, probably with a, you know, obviously the Xbox dashboard at front, but with option of using it as a full-blown Windows. If that was to be the case, then yeah, well, the sky is the limit. Like, there's no way anyone could block any games on Xbox then, right? Because in theory, if you're getting really a PC in a console form, if you know what I mean, when it comes to hardware, then I mean, nobody can block anything really, right? But this is the thing, like we still don't know what Microsoft is going to build, right? Will they still want to have more control over what is being published on Xbox and that kind of stuff? Or will they just not care, just like with Windows? Like on Windows, on PC, they allow, I mean, it's not like they allow, they don't block anything, if you know what I mean, right? I mean, that's the I guess better word for it, right? They just don't block anything. You can run anything you want, right? Unless you know, as long as it doesn't break some, I don't know, there's probably some licensing, you know, stuff there in Windows anyway. But in theory you can run and do all kinds of shit on Xbox, right? On Windows, sorry. So if you're going to get, let's assume we're going to get the later. Let's assume that we're going to get like a more open environment, more open system, right? And the way I see it, and the way I would like to see it manifesting on Xbox is like, imagine a console, an Xbox Series S or Xbox Series X like console hardware, right? Still customized, still having all kinds of hardware optimization. The APU or SoC has been built for for better use for the console and that kind of stuff, right? But then when it comes to operating system, you would get a Windows still customized, because you probably don't need a lot of stuff when you're running it on a console, but with an option to install stuff additionally, right? So if you want to turn your Xbox into a PC or a full-blown computer, no problem there. You click a button and Windows operate, and the Windows not dashboard, Windows desktop opens up for you, right? Like that would be a cool, a neat thing to have, right? Obviously, it would probably then take more space on the hard drive. It would need additional drivers for, I don't know, for printers sometimes. But you could actually install it on top of what you get from the, from the store, right? So I guess the sky is the limit there. And you probably would have to activate it by going into settings and agreeing to certain things and that kind of stuff, because you probably, if you've got a full access to Windows, then you can actually break things more easily, I guess. But again, at the end of the day, they could actually have an option where you could just reset your console and it would go back to where you were before. I mean, there's a number of ways you could, they could actually do it. All I'm saying is that having access to Windows, full-blown Windows on console would be a cool thing, because you are getting a pretty cheap hardware which you can use as a console, you can turn it into a PC, and you can use both, really, right? Like, I mean, that would be a cool thing to have. And if you look at PC right now, even right now, you can turn your PC into a console. Like, there's, I mean, Windows Store, I mean, the Xbox app really has this option where you can, it can cover the whole desktop, and it, like, Windows is not there. I mean, it's still there. It's just like, it's an app running on top of Windows, and, but you can control it with a controller, and it works just great, just like a console would, right? And you can even select an option to boot into that dashboard, Xbox dashboard, straight after turning on the PC. So in theory, you can grab your PC, connect to your TV, activate the, I don't know how it's called, like desktop mode or something like that, I don't know, or mobile mode in Xbox app, and next time you turn on your PC, the first thing you see is the Xbox dashboard, right? The Xbox app dashboard on your TV, and you can control it with a controller and that kind of stuff, right? It's there already. It's an Xbox with a full-blown Windows operating system behind it, right? So like, it works already. So why not, have it like that when it comes to consoles? Obviously, there's probably certain things that we're not really aware of and we don't think about a lot of times and that kind of stuff. So, there's probably more work that needs to be done than we actually even think about. But, like I said, the idea behind it is actually great. The question is, how will they execute it, right? Because, a lot of times certain things are great on paper when somebody has a plan. Oh, we'll do this and it will do that, and oh, that sounds great, let's do it. But then when it comes to execution, sometimes things don't work in practice. So who knows? But if they execute it right and make sure that everything works as it should be, then why not? And then, you know, you end up with a console that can play Xbox games, new Xbox games, old Xbox games, Steam games, PC games, PlayStation games that are on Steam. Why not? And, you know, PlayStation wouldn't be able to actually block anything really. So we'll see how that goes. That's just an option. I'm actually really, I really hope that the second option with a more open operating system, that option will win, that will get delivered, because yeah, that would be just great. Like, I can't wait for it. So we'll see how that goes. So guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.